Good afternoon, everyone, and I hope everybody is looking great, preparing for lunch. We are back, The Dragon Speaks. We are back and with a very, very special, I would say, guest, right? So he's a very special friend to both George and I. We've known each other for a long time, and I think that whatever that I know today is what he had taught me way back when, in the early days when we first started Dragonfly. So we're very honored to have him here today. And I'm going to just bring George on board just for a second. Give me a moment. All right. And here comes George.
Hello, hello. Assalamualaikum. Salam sejahtera. How's everybody today?
Looks like we have our two new viewers for this morning. Hi, Tila. How are you? I'm glad to see you today. And thanks so much for being so supportive of our session every single time. And Yogadashini, thank you so much for being here today. Josh, as I mentioned to our viewers, we have a very special guest.
Yes, we do.
Who will be joining us today. And we have a long list of questions. We're going to pick his brain on what it is like to be an entrepreneur. And I think we know exactly how it is, the pitfalls and the and all the fun stuff that goes with it. And but before we bring in our guest on board, perhaps we can share a few things that has been happening for the past couple of weeks. First and foremost, I think what I wanted to say here is that we're very excited that a couple of weeks ago we attended Talent Corp's launching of the International Women's Day with the theme Break the Bias. I think this is one particular topic that is close and dear to our hearts. Break the bias, in terms of employability and all that. And I think we have seen enough biasness involving talent in the market, and I think it was so apt to be there during the launch, meeting friends and taking pictures, of course, enjoying good food and having great conversation. So what do you think about the event the other day, my dear?
The food was good.
Of course. It's Sofitel after all. I'm just so sold to the idea of Sofitel. Yeah. Okay, and we have new friends who just came in. That's Casey. Hi, Casey. How are you? I hope to really meet you face to face very, very soon. Siobhan, good afternoon. And Muihan is here, Farid is here. My goodness, all the new people are coming in now. All right, shall we bring our guest just in a bit? Okay. I almost forgot. I'm going to just make a quick announcement as well. We are developing a masterclass during the Ramadan. It's going to be in the theme of preparing for interview and job search. We're finalizing some details, and I hope that there'll be, friends and our network who can share this particular good news. It's going to be one day masterclass. I know that there's so many people who are looking out for jobs, so this is going to be an opportunity for all of us to meet face to face and run interview preparation as well as job search strategy from the career doctor. So watch out for my notification or our announcement in LinkedIn and our YouTube as well as our Facebook page. So there you go. Watch out, and we're going to announce the date very soon. Very very soon. Okay, so let's bring Azleen on board.
Dear, just before you start, one of the honeypotters said that they can't see you yet.
Oh, why is that?
I don't know.
Um. Okay. I'm not quite sure. Maybe. All right. But LinkedIn, guys, can I just have a quick check? Can you guys see the three of us? Can, right? I hope so. KZ, Farid, can you see us? Shirley, I hope that you guys can see us because all this chat says so. Let me check. Yes, through
Okay,
LinkedIn. Yep,
through LinkedIn, yeah.
through LinkedIn. Yep,
All right.
yep. Azleen, we have Muihan here.
Hello, Han. Hello, everyone.
Taiko, he says, Taiko, Azleen. Okay, Azleen, welcome. Very, very honored
Thank
to have
you.
you. And I say this is as rare an interview with the Azleen as how you're going to look for a dragon. So it's rare to, be able to see you today and all that. Now, guys, I
Yeah.
know there are so many questions that you might have of Azleen, but let's welcome our guest and see what he has been up to for the past months. So, how are you, Azleen?
Good. I'm good. Thank you. I like thank you again for having me. And I don't have much to say, except by answering all your questions. For the past month, I am still busy to grow our marketing in Asia, more deeper into Asia. It's not an easy task because we started from scratch. We are the outsider of this industry, which has been so-called monopolized by the incumbent. And it's not easy for a new guys to come on board and be mainstream. So it will take years, but we are there slowly. Yeah.
That's good. So, what's on your plate for the past few weeks? I know you've
I got
been busy, collaboration and all that. Coffee.
coffee. What's on my plate? Mostly still, streamlining my team members, get everything to be automated. Not easy, but
Mm.
the SOP has to be there so that they are able to understand what they are currently have in their own plate and why they must do this and what
Why
will be
they
the
must do
outcome.
this?
Why they must do this and what will be the main outcome that is
Mm.
going to benefit the entire group. So whoever needs to do this one thing, they need to understand why they need to do this. If they don't do it, it will affect the entire team member. So
Absolutely.
this is important. This is very important. Yeah.
Yeah, being an
Mm.
entrepreneur isn't exactly that easy, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's not for the weak-hearted.
Oh,
It's not.
there you
It's not. Really, really. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, it's not. It's not.
But let's just move a little bit backtracking. I know we're
Mm,
going to talk
mm.
about entrepreneurship and the
Yeah.
challenges because I know I married a reluctant entrepreneur here.
That's me.
I
That's
don't.
me.
I don't see. I don't see any reluctant face there. All serious ones.
You
Only
you
serious
you
ones.
you have to you really have to know how to fake it, Azleen. Yeah. Otherwise, we'll eat you up alive.
You're entrepreneur, yeah.
Mm,
And then
mm,
I'm the
mm.
reluctant entrepreneur. That's George.
Yeah.
Oh, look who's here. Izam is here. Hi, Zam, logging all the way
Hey,
from
Zam.
Malacca. Mm. Okay, so entrepreneurship put aside, I want to ask you this.
Mm.
All right. Can you share with us something that we can never read it anywhere in any magazine? What is it
Mm.
about you that we don't know yet, or we haven't read all of this in magazine or any other rare interviews? That is, share a little bit about your life, if you can.
I'm very lazy people, very very lazy. So when I say lazy means I like to do my daily routine. You know, wake up and then go for breakfast with my wife,
Mm.
and then travel, and then go out of KL, get good food, okay, and then come back and then sleep. While doing this, I want to earn some serious money, and I don't have to put a lot of promises out there, or commitment out there, but still earning serious money. So this is what I am. So for the past years, you know, um, I was on a journey to find the right way to do this. And you don't see me talking like this, or sharing this elsewhere, but here's
Mm.
the truth. Yeah, I want to do this, I want to do what I want to do, but at the same time I want to earn some serious money, and I'm trying to find my ways to do it. Yeah.
Mm. But having said that,
Mm,
what started off this journey, Azleen? I know
mm,
that we've had conversation around this, but I think this is something that I'm very sure it will motivate other people, and they're very intrigued
mm,
about this,
mm.
entrepreneurship journey, right? I
Yeah.
mean, for me, it was different. It's in my DNA. I don't think I'll do it any other way. George, again, as the reluctant entrepreneur, got married to me, and we end up with Dragonfire, and that's like 10 years ago. This coming June, can you imagine?
Yeah, yeah. For me, it wasn't a journey I particularly wanted to take. I mean, I've always enjoyed paid employment because I was always employed in very good positions where I felt I could make a difference.
Mm,
And so, I was used to that. And then coming here in Malaysia, circumstances are entirely different. And, the high paying jobs that I was used to back in Canada, they're not exactly here. Malaysia is a very developed country, and, there didn't seem to be a need for someone with my particular, background and skills. So I was basically forced into entrepreneurship because I couldn't find a job. But if I
yeah.
had my choice, I would still go back to working for somebody else, and hopefully collecting a good paycheck, right? Because I do have that background and experience in my field.
Yeah. Yeah. So in my case, why I jump into this entrepreneurship is I think mainly because there are three reasons. One, I cannot do routines. Okay, I cannot do routine.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot just go wake up and then take a bath and then drive to office and then go back home at 6:30. This like that. So I cannot do this like every day. I cannot. And then number two, I cannot work with a superior who is not able to, I mean, work with me in terms of creativity or
Mm-hmm.
idea or IQs or whatever, that can match, who are willing to listen, who is not arrogant, who doesn't have a lot of egos
Yeah,
that I can. So these are all very tiring. Okay, number
yeah,
two.
yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, and then number three is I'm trying to find a more, sustainable income,
Mm.
by not dealing with a lot of people, because
Mm.
I'm not really, somebody who wants to go out there and network. I would
Right,
prefer
right.
to stay close with my Mac and then write and then interact, chat, whatever. Okay, but not really go out there, because
Yeah,
I'm not really a people guy. And then
yeah.
look for
We're
projects.
kindred spirits there, Asleen. We're kindred spirits,
Yeah.
which is why you see Honey. She's the public face of Dragonfire. Yeah.
Mm, mm. Then my parents was a teacher, so they are teaching at a few primary school, and the routine is crazy. It's crazy. So I don't want that kind of routine. But the lifestyle is, I would say, moderate. I'm still living moderate, not flashy here and there. Yeah, I think that is the main reason why I jump into this entrepreneurship. Yeah, three reasons: the routine,
Do
the
the
boss.
kids know what you exactly do?
Yeah, they do. They do. They do. They do. Yeah.
You know how some kids, they don't exactly know what their parents do, because
Mm,
it's just different. They're not doctors, they're not engineers, they
yeah.
don't go to the office 9 to 5, things like
Mm,
that, right?
mm,
And
yeah.
I think that's where life as an entrepreneur is a little bit different as well. And even for our children, they, up until today, they cannot really articulate what we do.
Mm, yeah.
They kind of know how to tell, but don't know exactly what it is.
Mm,
Yeah. Oh,
mm.
Dad's over in Malaysia. He seems to be having a good time traveling everywhere and eating, but have no idea what he does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, those
Mm.
kind of stuff. Okay. Next question. Okay, I've got list of questions here, a lot. All right.
Wow.
Okay, so next question. Why entrepreneurship? Why? Okay, so why entrepreneurship? I think you've explained to us
Mm.
that there are three reasons you did this. But what motivates you to really wake up in the morning, or mid morning, or noon?
Whenever you wake up.
Mm.
Yeah, whenever you want to wake up, what motivates you, and why is this important? Why is this journey important?
I'm looking forward to live a lifestyle that I've shared earlier. So that's the reason I wake up, because
Mhm.
I know that I'm gonna reach that point in just a few years' time. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah,
mm.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
So I really look forward to this day where I can just wake up in the morning and I don't feel rushed, and then there are not
Mhm.
many people disturbing via WhatsApp or
Yeah.
whatever, and I have to do this conference call, this and that. I like to live my own life,
Yeah. Yeah.
and yet
So
earning
basically,
money.
yeah. So basically, that's your Freedom 55. Yeah, your retirement plan. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Road to Freedom 55. I'm going to write that down.
yeah, yeah.
Road to Freedom 55. And how
Mm.
does the view looks like in the morning, Azleen?
I
I know
tried,
how I
I
want
tried,
it.
I tried before. At that time I was at the age of 39. So I tried to completely retire,
Hmm.
but somehow it failed.
Mhm.
Okay, it failed
Why?
because at that time, I guess the age also play a very strong factor here, where I think I cannot I cannot lay back that much, while I
Mhm.
still have energy. Now I'm closing into 50. So I
Yeah, you're
think,
still big,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I'm 50. I'm closing into 50, and I think it is time for me to really pursue that back. At 39, I try, I fail because I need to do more. I think I can do more. I can do better. So
Mhm.
I tried it. So but that's why I created Marketing in Asia,
Mm,
and yeah. So
mm.
somehow I accidentally made a good decision.
Accidentally, so it
I mean,
wasn't
without
really that
knowing.
deep.
Yeah. Otherwise, I will not created this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
Aslan, it's very interesting when you say that when you were 39 and it didn't quite work out. I read Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, right? And what he talks about is that he mentions that a lot of men, and this was the language of the day when he wrote his book, right? Men were sort of in control of the economy and business and stuff. So so it was directed towards men. But what he said is that a lot of men don't really become successful in life until about their 50s, some not until their 60s even. And it's only then, after the maturity and the school of hard knocks, that they actually succeed in that freedom 55 or freedom 60, whatever it is. Yeah. So very interesting that the parallel there, that 39 didn't quite work out. So now you're approaching 50, and you can now see it on the horizon. Yeah.
Yeah, true. In a way. But again, when I jump into this entrepreneurship, I need to understand also okay, what kind of entrepreneurship, I would like to advise these people out there, saying that this you need to know. Okay, some wants to jump into this entrepreneurship, okay, because I want to earn some extra money to pay for this and that. Some would like to go into entrepreneurship, okay, because I want to find freedom. Okay. Some say the same, but eventually it grows so big, and eventually this person needs to work again. Okay, and come back with the routines. So you need to understand what kind of entrepreneurship that you really want. Because if you really want to grow it, then you will go back to square one. Like me, I don't want to go back to square one where I need to do all this all over again. And it becomes an active income. So I don't like active income.
Yeah.
Makes sense. It's just like finding a career path. It's just that it's the unconventional way, which is you have to write your own paycheck and all that. But it's just the same. I think an entrepreneurship is another job that you love, that is not a job. So that's the only difference, and you're writing your own paycheck. And that's same thing if you have your own people working for you. You got to find the funnels and making sure that your people are being paid, your vendors are being paid, you are being paid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, that's the thing for me and entrepreneurship. I like that paycheck coming in at the end of the month, because it provides that stability, right? Trying to figure out how you're going to pay rent, at the end of the month, when you're looking at your sales pipeline and it just isn't there. It's like, oh my God, I mean, it forces you to be creative, but if you're prone to heart attacks and stuff like that will, it will surely kill you, right? So that's the thing for me. I like that regular paycheck. I don't like not knowing, right? And it goes back to my childhood, which was rather turbulent, and not having that stability in terms of a father who brought home a regular paycheck. Yeah. So
right. Yeah. I completely agree with that. It makes different. It makes a difference. When you are an entrepreneur, the income is up and down. It will swing left, right, center, and you do not know when is the next one coming, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but the commitment is fixed. So you need to pay this like it or not, right? So the only way to do it is to save. Yeah.
Or go bigger.
Or go bigger, try to be sustainable by go bigger. Or go bigger or go volume. So
go bigger, go volume, or maybe lower but more sustainable, but that might be lesser bottom line. So it can be in a variance of a lot of things, I suppose. I also find that some entrepreneurs or some inspiring is I would say anyone who wants to go into entrepreneurship, they have this notion that time is your own, you are your own boss, and things like that. What do you say to that?
When you when you become your own boss, you need to face everything. Income, you need to sort it out. All the expenses, you need to sort it out. There's no other people who's going to help you. So you need to be prepared. So I would recommend those who wants to become an entrepreneur to either you keep your job for a while until you really sort out this income thing in your business, or you find a business that has two type of income. One is that comes in on the regular basis that will help you to pay. Two is to find a project basis income where it will come. It will not come that often, but once it come, it come in a
Mm,
larger amount. So
mm,
this will be like fun for you to fuel your growth.
mm.
Right? But the commitment has to be paid. If
Yeah.
you were hoping for the project income to pay for your commitment, it will dry up. At the end of the day, you will left with nothing.
Mm, mm.
Mm, mm,
True, true. I
yeah.
also find that as an entrepreneur, I mean, it's just
Mm,
like this concept, right? Everybody can fly, and entrepreneurship is also a concept. Everybody can set up office, everybody can set up business,
mm,
but it's not everyone
mm,
who can um, sustain. You know,
right.
if you can sustain more than 6 months, that's the first milestone. Very good. You
Mm,
hit the
mm,
first year, okay, you're doing a little bit better. But I
mm,
think the critical point is to make sure that you sustain a year and a half to 2 years, and after that you
Yeah.
can just try to move on. What do you think? What was your journey before this as an entrepreneur, Azleen?
I I learned one thing. I learned that if I want to be sustainable, I need to be relevant to some other people's life. If they see me
Ah,
as important for something, then I'm going to be sustainable. Then I can sustain. So
okay, that's a great
mm,
tips.
mm. So you need to find these kind of people and grow these people, or grow this group, bigger, who find you as relevant in their life. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if these people no longer exist, then you will not be sustainable. You can't sustain yourself. You can't sell your service. You can't sell your product because they do not want your product. They do not want your service.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
So,
mm, mm, mm,
and
mm,
the other problem is that there are so many people like us.
mm.
So you have two challenges. The first challenge is to find these people. The second challenge is how do you get rid of your competitor? So if you can,
You buy them over.
so if you can solve these two problems, you can be successful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
uh,
it's very interesting picking up on Hani's theme that now everyone can fly about entrepreneurship. My sense is that we all have our individual niches and stories and skills and experience. So it's really a matter of finding a market that we can sell to for whatever it is that we possess. Yeah.
mm,
So any
mm.
one of us, has that idea that we can turn into a business. We have that specialized knowledge and stuff that we can convert into cash. But it's finding the market, yeah, and putting in the commitment, and having the dollars, as you say, to start up, yeah.
Yeah. And so there is another story. There's another side of the coin, which is how do you become a successful entrepreneur. So
Mm,
the one that I talk about is about your business, right? So how do
mm,
you become a successful entrepreneur? There are five factors that I have seen with my own eyes that it is true. Five. One is greed. You cannot back off, because if you back off, then your family will suffer. Okay, this is
Mm.
great. You need to move on, right?
yeah,
You need to
yes,
have
yes.
faith, belief, whatever. So this is great.
Uh,
Uh, okay. Two is money. Money. You need to move forward. You need money. If you don't have money, you cannot move forward. You cannot even consider entrepreneurship at
Yeah.
all. Okay. Two. Three is skill and experience.
mm,
You need to have knowledge of your own skill, your industry, your business. You need to know deeply. Okay. Four is your network. If you don't have network, friends, collaboration partners, supplier, whatever, this network, then you're dead. You cannot. 4. 5 is experience.
So experience twice then for number 3 and number 5?
Oh, great, and then money, and then skill, and knowledge. Right?
Oh, skill and knowledge. Got you.
Skill
Okay.
and knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah. And then network.
Yes.
And then experience.
Yes.
5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want to jump, grow this first. And then if you think you are comfortable enough with this 5, I mean, by all means. Yeah.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah.
5 things, guys?
Okay.
Picking up on number 4, the networking, Azleen. How did you manage to do it? You've told us already you don't really like that whole going out and meeting people and the social thing and stuff. So how do you do your networking then if you're that kind of I hate to use the word label, but introvert, yeah?
Yeah. Actually, LinkedIn.
Okay.
I grew my LinkedIn from I think 2013. Yeah. So 2013, now my LinkedIn has about 25,000.
Wow.
I would consider okay, because if I were to share anything there will be traction. So this traction will then be swing to the website, or will be swing to my landing page, or will be swing to some other website that I want them to see. I don't play Facebook. I hardly on Facebook. I'm starting on Twitter. Yeah. So this
Not
is
TikTok?
how I grow.
I want to see you on TikTok, Azleen. No.
No.
Not TikTok, no.
No. I just let them to do it. I don't. I'm okay. I'm okay.
But
So
sorry, go ahead.
So these are the 5 core pillars that we should have if I want to jump into entrepreneurship. And then once I jump into this entrepreneurship, then I need to make sure that I have the 2 factor that my business should have, that I shared earlier about the group who find us relevant, and also fending off our competitor. So yeah. So these are the formula that I think.
How do you do that? How do you do that? The 2. How do you do that? Quick overarching tips. How do you want to?
If I were to start all over again, I will start my homework now while I'm still working. You need to figure out. You need to write it down in your business canvas. Write everything down, whatever that you have in your thoughts, ideas, whatever. You need to write it down, and then you need to structure it nicely until you are comfortable with this model. Then only you can execute.
That sounds like a lot of hard work.
A lot. It takes years. It takes years before you want to decide. Have you guys watched Ocean 11?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ocean 11, when they want to knock down 3 casinos, or if they want to knock down this guy who owns a very large hotel, right? It took them 6 months to plan a nice way to really do this.
Yeah.
6 months. So the actually foundation is key. When they built KLCC, it took them 1.5 years. If you can Google, it took them 1.5 years to build the foundation. A lot of concrete down there, 1.5 years, and it took another 1.5 years or 1 year plus to build the 88th floor. So that's how critical is our foundation is. So it's okay if you need time. It's okay. So just work on it.
But what about those who are really, really keen to just get on it? You know, they have some ideas, because there's so many people, and that included me. Okay, and well, I got into entrepreneurship, one thing, because I see that, you know, the whole family is into business and all that, and hey, it's really interesting. You don't have to report to anybody, and I think that's a wonderful idea.
It's good. It's good. It's a wonderful idea. The only issue is this: when you do mistakes in your planning, you can just rectify on paper. Okay, and it's free. It's free. But when you execute and you do mistakes, it's expensive. It's very expensive. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, we all know that.
yes, yes. So plan carefully, as detailed as possible, and then only you execute. If you're not comfortable, then don't execute. So that
When do
is
you know that you are comfortable? I mean, there's always these Jiminy crickets, right, telling you, oh, it's not perfect enough. Is the goal perfection, or where does the planning stops and just start doing?
mm, mm. You will know eventually, but you don't rush it. You need to complete this. You cannot complete this in, let's say, one day or maybe 1 week. You need to complete this, and then slowly you go out there, observe people. How do they behave? How do they buy? How do they decide? What makes them decide? Read a few books, read a few articles, talk to people, and then come back and look. Then you find there are things to fine tune. So you need to continue this process until you are comfortable with the final version. And this final version is not the end. You still need to continue, refining it, even though you have already executed the plan. It's okay.
Right.
But this refining work will be, I think, bare minimum once you start to execute it. Yeah.
Right. But this sort of goes against everything that we've heard about entrepreneurship and entrepreneurs, right? That entrepreneurs are risk takers, yeah. And now we're hearing from you that you actually have to do some planning rather than just sort of
A lot
jumping
of
in
hard work.
and going right into it. So how do you reconcile that, Azleen?
This is called calculated risk. So you calculate risk.
That's the word that they miss out on, yeah.
Yeah. This is what they call. Here's what they call as the calculated risk. So you need to calculate everything first. Then you take the risk. Then it's okay. Yeah.
Not just jump into the unknown and pray for the best, huh?
Well, hey, I did that when I came to Malaysia and married you, right?
That was a very high risk. You might never know. You won't like even me,
Alhamdulillah, everything worked out.
Yeah.
I suppose, Azleen, you've answered partially on Chevon's question. She's asking here, Azleen, knowing what you know now, what would you do differently from when you first started? Is there anything else that you would like to add on to what you've described earlier in, addressing Chevon's question?
I would, as per what I advise here, is what I am advising myself if I were to start all over again. I did a lot of mistakes before. I did not do what I told you earlier. I did not do any single thing of it. And I learned my mistake the most expensive way, extremely expensive. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm just checking on time. My goodness, we are at 12:39. We have a few more good minutes, and we are taking in questions after this as well as we move along. So those of you who are here, feel free to join and jump into the conversation. Those of you who have just come into the chat box, welcome everyone. And I see that there's so many people who logged in, and I've got like gazillion messages texting in to my WhatsApp. I have another burning question, Azleen.
Okay. All right. I'm not that successful, so I'm just sharing you what I have experienced. I don't have qualification, I don't have certification to teach people, But what I'm sharing here is based on what I have experienced, what I have observed, what I have gone through. For you to learn from this, then you can take your note and maybe you can, I think, verify it first, okay, before you really go and do it. Yeah, verify it first.
Yeah, and my next burning question is that what has changed since your first day of going into entrepreneurship to now? What has changed? It could be outlook of life, or you know, the way you do things, or whatever. What has changed?
Have you seen the graph? The one that you expect is like that, but when you really jump, it'll be like that, then like that, right? Then like
Uh-huh,
that. So I
uh-huh.
just completed this. I just completed this.
Oh,
Yes,
this.
this. Now I'm
Uh,
this. Okay.
washing machine.
Ah, so this is what I shared earlier. Mm,
Mm,
mm, mm.
mm.
So now I've done those stuff. The stage has gone really past me, and I learned a lot. And I wasted a lot of years. Wasted.
Yeah, but it has
So,
been turned into some life lesson, no?
and I'm sharing you so that you can do it
Mm,
without having to experience this so
mm,
much. Mm.
Yeah.
mm,
If you're gonna make
mm.
mistakes, if you're gonna make mistakes, make the same mistakes as Azleen did. Don't sorry, make your own mistakes, not the same ones that Azleen did. Yeah,
Right, right,
And
that's the
learn
right.
and
message,
learn.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Learn from other people's mistake is the best.
yeah.
Mm.
It's free
Yeah.
tuition, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
You
and
don't have
sometimes they
to.
can be expensive, lah.
Correct. And I don't find, successful entrepreneur as really successful, but we can learn something from them. You can also talk to the average people who are doing small time business, but seems happy. You can talk to them
Mm.
also
Mm, mm,
and
mm,
learn. They have a lot of, I don't know, wisdom maybe that they can share.
mm,
They are not even popular, but they are something that we can learn from them.
mm.
Mm,
I suppose everyone who's going into a journey, I would say, it sounded cliche, I know, a journey
mm,
of, it can be entrepreneurship, it can be a professional career, whatever.
yeah,
But everyone has their own benchmark of success. So, what is success to you might be a little bit different than the person next to you,
correct,
for
correct,
example,
correct.
right? And I
Yeah.
think this is very, very important to try to understand, not to make that comparison. Otherwise, we'll go nuts.
Yes,
But that's
yes.
but that's my take on success. Because a lot of people, I think when we start talking about entrepreneurship, it's always about wealth. It's about
Mm,
money. It's
mm,
about financial freedom. All of
Yeah,
those things,
yeah.
and it's always tagged to money. Dollars and cents.
Mm.
What's and I know George has his opinion as well on what success looks like. It can be a list of many things.
Mm. Mm.
um, and I know for a fact that when I first started my entrepreneurship journey, it was always been about the money.
mm,
I know that, but that's
mm.
like what 35 years ago. Things have changed. I think the monetary bit is still as important. Just like what you said, we can't live on love and air alone. We need
Mm.
to have money to make money so that we can create bigger impact. We can help people. We can do other things
Mm.
for a lot of reasons. But apart from that, I think there are a few other things that I also value. But what's your take on this? Because I'm going to ask a question based from Michael Rada's question, but I just want to, pick your brain on your concept of success for you.
Success for me as a lazy introvert guy is like is to live my life. I mean peacefully. Okay, peacefully, and
Oh,
earning enough. Okay, earning enough. I'm not looking for more money. Yes, I'm looking for more money for the future. I mean, I can I can continue to pay my bills next month, the next month, the next month. So, but again, I just need to have enough for me to be like this.
Mm.
Right.
And feeling happy and fulfilled and
Fulfill,
and
yeah.
and
If you
and
want to buy, if you want to buy, I don't know, Maserati or BMW, I mean, go ahead,
go ahead.
go ahead. I'm okay with my car. I'm okay with my car. If I have more money, then I think I can buy. I will still consider it. But again, I'm okay if I don't.
Mm, mm.
Mm,
And I
mm,
think it's very important to be grounded as well, right?
yeah, true, true.
Yeah. Otherwise, what is that thing there? What is that movie that says, so how much is enough?
Oh yeah, that's Wall Street. Money never sleeps. The
Yeah,
second
when it was
one where dude there asks his mentor, so what's your number? What's and the guy asks, what do you mean? And he says, what's your number to just walk away from all of this, right?
yeah,
And the mentor says more. And I guess for me, that's the problem that I have with some of these folks that look at money as the end goal, right? I mean, look at Jeff Bezos. He started out Amazon in his garage, and now he's a multi-gazillionaire. And like, what's the point at which you are satisfied with what you have? And now you hear all of these horror stories about the way that Amazon treats their warehouse workers and stuff like that, and it's just insane, right? Like, surely there must be a point of enoughness where the money, you've got enough money that you don't need any more. I mean, what are you going to do with the $200 billion? Like, that's not even fathomable anymore, right?
yeah,
So money is a great enabler, but beyond a certain point, like, I don't understand it.
yeah, yeah. And when it comes to a point that you are now treating people badly,
Mm,
Mm.
then we know that the money will actually bring you elsewhere.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Now, talking
So
about treating, sorry,
yeah,
Azleen,
no, great.
complete. Uh,
No, 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 it's okay. I'm done.
Now, that comes to mind, there's this perception or notion that working for startups or entrepreneurs, whatever you
Hmm.
want to call it, because it's a perception, at least to my mind anyway, is that there is no career progression, because the company will stay small, and if you have career trajectory, you will never be up there. And I think this is a wrong perception, because an entrepreneur is basically, they set up business. It can be small, it can be big, it can be really really big. What do you think?
I don't know how to answer this, but in my point of view, I don't plan that long. I just plan to a point where I can see myself for the next maybe 2 to 3 years only,
Mm,
and
mm,
then see
mm,
how things are progressing.
mm.
Mm,
From there, because there are a lot of input coming,
Right.
and your plan might change.
Mm, mm.
Mm.
COVID
So
comes in.
yeah, a lot of things change nowadays, and there are NFTs. There are also crypto. So there are
Yes.
also so many other new things that
Yeah.
you might want to get your income from, and it's not just from a business.
mm, mm,
There are
Mm,
many other ways now that you can do.
mm,
So
mm,
I would not plan so far ahead. I just want to plan just enough for me to see myself where I am going
mm,
to. Uh,
mm,
I mean, based
mm.
on my own nature.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think that's very, very important to also understand what you're looking for in life, really,
mm,
and not
mm,
being, pushed by external factors. Uh, and I think that's very important as well. There's so many unhappy people around, Aslin,
yes,
and
mm.
yes, yes.
and we all need hope. I think we all need to be able to say no to certain things that is not working out for us. And I think this is a problem nowadays, especially during the COVID, where we see so many people who lost jobs and all that, and they tend to be pushed into the reluctant entrepreneur.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and they continue doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm, that's
I
right.
like what you said, Asleen, about looking at a fairly short-term horizon. Yeah. Because it sort of picks up on Michael Rada's comment, who said the role model of Industry 5.0 is not Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, but nature, because nature does not waste. So if you're only planning for a short-term horizon or only looking at a short-term horizon, then you're not then you're only looking at really what you need to achieve that short-term horizon. You're not looking 5-10 years down the road and looking at the huge amount of resources that you're going to need. So it's much more aligned with being in harmony, I guess, with nature and not wasting. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
I like that. And he also raised a very good question, and I think this is where definition of goals, life goals, or business goals. And he's asking this: do you agree that the true goal should be non-financial one? I suppose there's no hard and fast rule to answer this, but what's your take?
I mean, let's be realistic here.
Mhm.
To fuel our journey, I think we need, I think we need money. At the end
Yes.
of the day, yes, we need to have a goal for this part, and also we need to have goal for our own life. Yeah,
Mm,
as simple as
mm,
that. So
mm,
if I were to answer this question, I would say I would need two type of goal. One type is money related and to sustain me in my family, and the next goal will be I mean my own journey as a professional or as a business person.
mm. There's a
Mm.
question that came in from our dear friend Fazlin. Thank you so much. Good to see you. She is now she's just started on her entrepreneurship journey. All right. I know it's kind of tough, but she's really good at what she does. She is
Mm.
really good at what she does. So her question here. Okay, agree with staying flexible to manage short-term horizons because the world is changing so fast. What do you think of the gigster landscape and how entrepreneurs can integrate this going forward as the millennials come into the job market? Good question, Fazlin. What do you think? What's your
Gig
take?
gig economy is out there, but I think it's good. It's good. It is okay to start it off, to kick off, or to uh, to start your journey with. I mean, it's good. Okay, but at the end of the day, it's not going to be a long-term solution for us. Why? Because we are selling time. We are selling time,
Mm,
and I always disagree to sell time for money. Okay, it is not sustainable, and you need to sell more time for more money. And in 8 hours, you can do certain only
Mm.
one amount, one I think a few tasks only, and your earning is going to be based on this particular hour.
mm,
So
mm,
how are you going to sustain yourself when you are 40 or 45 or
Mm, mm,
50,
mm.
when your
mm.
energy start to come down, you start to be slightly lazy, and you think you're going to be sick for the next 1 week?
Yeah, yeah,
So how are you going to do that?
yeah. True.
Yeah, so you need to find a formula after this. So what would be your next formula? Mm.
Ah,
It's
yes,
okay to start.
yes.
Yeah.
It's okay to
So in other
start.
words, gigging is just not enough. Yeah, you have to have something more than that.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, more plans, a little bit of a more solid plan so that you don't have to sell time in exchange for money within a
Mm.
certain period of time or after a certain time. right? Because I, before we got into the studio earlier, today we were talking about, how the spirit is willing, but the flesh is kind of like no longer there.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
you
True.
get body aches and you get headaches and you just don't feel like waking up in the morning because you're so tired.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
True.
if you are still selling time in exchange for money, and time is money, then it's kind of
Yeah.
hard, isn't it? When you just
Yes.
don't feel like, fulfilling the 8 hours a day.
Mm. True. Then you need more. You need more time for more money. So
Hmm.
how many time that you can have in one day?
Mm.
Mm.
True, true, true.
And then
Now,
after that, you're gonna get married. Then you're gonna have
yes,
children. Then you have less time.
yes, yes.
Mm.
Then
Everybody
what?
will. Then what? Then what? Uh,
Then what?
uh,
True enough. Just last week I met with one of my friends. He's now living in the Netherlands. He came back for the holidays. And Rafiq, we've known each other for about 2.5 years. I actually wrote about him just today. And during our meetup, we were talking about this gig economy, where what you observe is that there are so many millennials coming out into the job market, and they quickly get into the gig economy. So we're talking about the why, and what's the long-term plan. I mean, you're not going to be 21 forever, right? You're
yeah.
going to be, like you said, getting a little bit older, you want to get married, have kids, or going for holidays, that nice little holiday that you've been planning about. And gig can be quite lucrative, but again, it's exchanging time for money. So
Mm.
what's the bigger plan? I suppose that was the question that we were talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. The bigger plan will be. I don't know how they're going to take this. However, the not so good news about being in the gig economy is time. So as they go along with it, they will make money. They will make some money. They will make good money, or they will not make it at all. They won't
Mm,
make it at all. So it all depends on the current scenarios that they have. So if they make good money, they might have an idea of how to make this good money much more sustainable. So they might
Mm.
form a team, or they might create a company, or they might hire people. So it will evolve eventually. So they will find a scenario where they will then have to decide what is next, and there's no fixed formula for that. Mm,
Yeah,
Mm.
I wish there is, but unfortunately, it doesn't work that
mm,
way too. Yeah. Hey,
yeah.
look, Major Prabha has just invited, hopefully, all of us, okay, to have a teh tarik peacefully in Lumut, because he's based in Lumut. Let's make
Yeah,
a
yeah.
drive to Lumut.
Yes.
Hey, I've got a better idea. How about we have Tay Tarik on Pangkor Island? How about that?
I like.
Uh,
That's another story to tell, isn't it? What we did
Yes, that's a
before.
paint roller story.
mm, yeah.
Okay, Azleen, I'm just looking at time here. We are having so much time that time just passes us by. We are at 12:59, and I've got a last question. Perhaps you would like to share with us some of the tips for those who are keen to be on this entrepreneurship journey. What are your top three, I suppose, tips that you this is non-negotiable. You just have to
Yeah.
kind of do this.
Got to suck
So
it
what?
up.
Yep.
It has to start with a plan. Yeah, it has to start with a plan. There are many people who jump straight away to execution, and they pay the price as they go along, and it's expensive and it costs money, and it's going to be a waste of money, a waste of time. Then you need to go back to the drawing board. So my suggestion is, I shared earlier, to start with the
Mm,
plan, write down everything, keep everything structured, then you'll be able to see you are able to visualize what you have in mind from this paper. Then you have to make sure that you yourself has the 5 things that I've shared earlier. Yeah. So the grit, it is not for weak-hearted. It is, and then you need money, then you need network, and then you need skill and knowledge of your industry, of your business, and then you need to have experience a little bit. Okay, if you have 5 days, if you're comfortable with the 5, then work on the model of your business that is able to be relevant to other people's life. The bigger the group is, the more sustainable your business will become. And find also a strategy where you can make sure that you are unique from your competitors. You need
I
this
think very,
thing.
very relevant.
Yeah. If you have all this, then I'm sure you're going to be okay. Yeah. It will cut short years.
You know, I read somewhere before. It's about a simple quote of being in business or an entrepreneur. You sell what people need.
Yeah.
You know, because you have to stay relevant in people's life to get into the space, I suppose. If you're not relevant anymore, then you know you're not needed, and therefore there's no trajectory or there's no career being an entrepreneur. And I think that's where your 5 tips to you have to have all of these 5 in order to be successful, to even start. If we're not even successful, we're not even talking about successful yet, you need to have all of this. And I think that's a good 5 things to have. I think the challenge is to ask ourselves whether how much do we have in all those 5.
How much?
Yeah.
How balanced are they?
Yes.
But the thing is that this is not a journey that people necessarily have to take on their own. For example, if you don't have the networking, we've got the Sifu right here, Hani Razaif Bohlender, the career doctor.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about Azleen.
LinkedIn branding workshops, right? So there's expertise out there. I mean, I help people with business plans. This was part of my former life, yeah. So I can help people put together business plans. So if you are missing some of the elements, you can actually purchase the expertise from somebody else. Yeah.
Right. True. And your business must be ethical, of course.
Oh yes,
Exactly.
exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
Yes. And I think that would be one of the key differentiators when we're in this space, because it's premium nowadays. Ethics is premium.
Correct. Right.
Okay, we have arrived at the end of our session, and it's 1:03. I'm very sure right after this there'll be so many people who will be requesting to talk to Azleen and all that. And I did say this, that today's session is as rare as finding a dragon. Very, very rare. It's very difficult to kind of have this conversation and being so open about it. Thank you again, Azleen. I really, really appreciate the fact that you said yes. To a topic. You didn't even ask a lot of things, Pun, and I always appreciate that.
Yeah. Thanks so much for sharing your knowledge and your experience with us. Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, so with that, you're most welcome. It's real pleasure to have you with us today, and to see familiar names in dropping by. So for those of you who are on a lookout for our next The Dragon Speaks, it will happen every 2 weeks. Although having said that, there'll be some days where George and I just wake up in the morning and say, hey, you know what? Let's do one in the next few days. So some planning, yes, but sometimes it's just like, we wanted to talk about something so specific, something so burning that we just have to talk it over and and share it with the world. So hopefully today's session has brought some insights on what life as an entrepreneur is, the pitfalls and the joys and what else.
Yeah,
And
be sure.
with yeah,
Sorry, I don't
right.
mean to interrupt you, but I just want to tell everybody, make sure you go to Azleen's website, Marketing in Asia, and see how you can contribute to the marketing space, and the promotion of business, the discussions around business. It's a fantastic resource. There's a
Mm.
lot of people that are already on there sharing their thoughts. It's a very good community to get connected. So be sure to check out Marketing in Asia's website. Yeah.
Yep, and checking out Azleen's LinkedIn profile as well.
Stalking.
Okay, with that, thank you so much. Any last bit that you want to say, Azleen, before we end the session?
No.
Okay, okay. Now,
Yeah.
dear, that's it.
No,
Anything else?
again, thanks very much to Azleen for coming in today and talking about this fantastic subject of entrepreneurship. Thank you to
Thank
all
you.
of our viewers as well for tuning in and for your questions. And look forward to seeing you in about 2 weeks' time for the next show of The Dragon Speaks.
All right. Bye, everyone. Assalamualaikum. See you all again.
See
Assalamualaikum.
you. Bye bye.